Nrutvi TV Fairy Tales story Cinderella. Kindness is the greatest kind of magic. In a kingdom far, far away, where dreams sparkled like stars, lived a girl with a heart as kind as morning light. This is the story of Cinderella. Cinderella lived in a quiet little village with her father and her dreams. Her days were filled with stories, laughter, and love. But everything changed when her father remarried. Her new stepmother brought along 2 daughters. They were not kind. They turned her once joyful home into a place of endless chores and loneliness. But Cinderella never stopped smiling. She sang while she swept. She dreamed while she dusted. Because kindness was her magic. Cinderella, the laundry. Cinderella, the dishes. Cinderella, my tea. Still, she whispered to the mice, one day things will be better. A royal announcement echoed through the kingdom. The prince is holding a ball, all maidens invited. Even Cinderella dared to hope. She found her mother's old gown tucked away with care. Her animal friends helped her fix it, stitch by stitch. But when her stepsisters saw the dress, they tore it apart. Cinderella ran into the garden, heartbroken. She cried beneath the stars, her dreams crushed once again. But the night had magic of its own.
A twinkle, a sparkle, and suddenly, kindly, a kind voice whispered, "Oh dear, what a mess. But don't worry, child, I've come to help." Bippity-boppity-boo, sang the fairy godmother. And pumpkins danced, mice stood tall, and magic lit up the garden. Rags turned to radiance, and there she stood, like a dream brought to life. Cinderella was ready for the ball. But remember, my dear, the fairy godmother said firmly, at the stroke of midnight, everything returns to how it was. Excitedly, and with that, off she went, heart full of wonder. Gasps filled the hall. Who was this vision in blue? And at the top of the stairs, the prince saw her, and everything else disappeared. She floated down the staircase like a whisper of a dream. And the prince, captivated, asked for her hand. The music swelled and the world faded. Just the 2 of them remained. They danced like moonlight on water, silent, pure, and endless. Each step a heartbeat, each turn a promise neither knew, was racing toward midnight. Bong! The clock struck midnight, urgent, and Cinderella remembered the one rule she must not break. She fled, afraid, uncertain, hoping he wouldn't see her change, sadly, but on that final step, she left behind a piece of her heart. He didn't know her name, where she came from, or why she ran, but he had the slipper and a heart full of certainty. He would find her, hopeful, with hope in his heart and the slipper in hand. The prince searched high and low for the girl who changed everything with a single dance. But not everyone wished for Cinderella's happiness. Lady Tremaine locked her away determined to steal her chance at joy. The slipper was magical, but it had limits. Try as they might, squish, squash, stomp, it simply didn't fit. Her friends hadn't forgotten her. With nimble paws and tiny tools, the mice saved the day. She stepped into the room, radiant, kind, and real. The prince saw what he'd been searching for, not just beauty, but the girl who had danced with his soul. It was a perfect fit, just like their hearts. And in that moment, the prince knew he had found his princess. Though they'd wronged her deeply, Cinderella's heart had no room for hate. She chose kindness, and that made her truly royal. The kingdom sparkled with joy, preparing for a love story written in stars. Even magic couldn't make a day this perfect. It came from love. Among friends, forgiveness and magic, love found its forever. They said, "I do," not just with words, but with hearts that had waited their whole lives. And so, Cinderella's kindness led her to more than a prince. It led her to a life filled with love, light, and laughter. Her story became a fairy tale for the world to cherish. Cinderella's heart still belonged to those who had helped her dream. She opened her new world to every old friend. Together, they built a new palace of peace and joy, with dances, desserts, and a garden that grew with love. She remembered the man who taught her how to hope and sent a piece of her joy back to the stars. Even hearts that once held envy can change with time. Cinderella had planted kindness, and it bloomed everywhere. She was crowned, not for her name, but for the kindness she carried in her soul. A queen made of light, not lineage. She opened the ballroom to all hearts, noble or not. And in every step, she shared her story through joy. The clock never struck again, because this time, her happiness didn't have a time limit. It was hers forever. And so, Cinderella's dream didn't just come true. It became a dream she could share with everyone. Happily ever after was just the beginning.
Thanks for watching Woodview TV Storytime. Please do like, comment and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for the more updates. See you all in next video. Bye bye.